Hi there, my name's Maria Iliffe-Wood and I am the author of A Caged Mind, How Spiritual Understanding Changed a Life, and a couple of other books as well. I'm also founder of IW Press, and I'm excited to talk to you today because I'm about to leave on a solo writing retreat, and I thought it might be fun to do a little video diary of the experience. When I get to the location later, I'll do another video about the place and why I chose it, because then I'll be able to show you the place. But for now, I'm going to talk about what I'm planning to do. I've written a whole itinerary ready for the few days I'm away. When I told my husband I was making a plan, he was a little bit surprised, and he said, "Well, aren't you just going to write?" And I think he's got a bit of a point, hasn't he? But I said, yeah, but there's more to writing than just writing, because if you're watching this, you probably know. So before I tell you about my itinerary, I'll tell you a little bit about how I write, because we don't all write in the same way, do we? I don't have a book in mind at the minute. I'd like to write another book, but I don't know what that's going to be just yet. And so when I write, I like to sit down and write with nothing on my mind and see what shows up. I mean, some people like to plan it all out, but, you know, they work out all the characters, all the plot, and all of that kind of thing. That's not me. I've also seen that different books have a different process. I've written several books and every one of them's had a different process. So, but what I do know is that most processes will include writing, of course, research, rest, inspiration, recuperation, more writing, and procrastination, or as I like to call it, percolation. Like when we're procrastinating, there's other stuff going on. So when I was planning my itinerary, I've taken into account all of those things, and I've added a little bit of fun. So here's my planned daily itinerary. The idea is that I'm going to do the same thing every day. So we'll see how that works out, and I'll keep you updated on that. So this is my itinerary. I'm very pleased with it. I like the fact that I've laid it all out for myself. You know, I've kind of taken this seriously, and I've made it look nice, so it looks pleasurable. But so I'm going to start in the mornings with my usual journal writing. I'm back in class with my writing teacher on Friday, so I'm going to need to have a journal piece ready to read on Friday. But writing first thing in the morning is normal for me. I usually write on a daily basis, most days, and if I don't write, I'll read something inspirational, and often I'll do both. So part of what I wanted to do was continue with my inspirational reading. And my writing is usually my own story, but with a message of hope and linked to spirituality. So I look to write from a deep place within me. So for the week that I'm away writing, I've chosen a book that will give me inspiration to help me tap into that deep place. So I've chosen the book The Call by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And it's no coincidence really that I've chosen this book, although I only came across this book a few weeks ago. I hadn't heard of it before. And as soon as I saw it, I knew that I really liked it. I didn't buy it with my writing retreat in mind, but at our wedding, one of the readers read The Invitation by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. So she's an author that I really love. And the strapline for this book is Discovering Why You Are Here. God, if I could work that out, eh? So that really speaks to, you know, what I want to do in my writing. And like, if I can't discover why I'm here, how's that going to show up in my writing? So I think that's going to be really inspirational for me to start digging deeper into my writing. So after breakfast, so I'll have breakfast then, obviously. After breakfast, I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to walk for a good couple of hours. I'm going to have a really long, nice walk. every day. In The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, she talks about having artist dates. You know, we need to do something on a regular basis that nourishes and refreshes our soul. And walking does that for me, especially being out in nature. So I plan to walk for a couple of hours. And I was talking to my writing teacher about my retreat, and she made the suggestion of listening to John O'Donoghue's book, Walking in Wonder, for the first half an hour or so while I walk, because, you know, that's another book that I never heard of it before. I didn't know it. And the invitation, I think, from what I can see about that book, is that the invitation is to ponder the deep questions about life. So again, that sounds like a really interesting thing to do. But my plan is to only listen for a short while I'm walking, and then let whatever I hear percolate while I walk for another hour and a half, something like that. So I'm going to be really interested to see what these inspirations bring for my writing. And then, after my writing, I'll get down to some work. My plan is to write for an hour. I'm not holding myself to that. I'm not setting it as a goal as such. You know, I have an intention to write for that amount of time. It might be longer, it might be shorter, who knows? We'll see. Yeah, that's the general idea. So by lunchtime I'll have done 2 lots of writing. Fingers crossed, we'll see. Then I'll have some lunch, and then in the afternoon, again, I'm just going to wander around the garden. The place where I'm going to, and I'll show it to you later, has really lovely gardens and seating and things like that. So the idea will be I'll have a wander around, and if it's a nice day, fingers crossed, the weather forecast is pretty good, I'll find a nice seat outside and write again for another hour, or until I get too cold to write. Maybe that'll be that'll stop me in the end. But I have seen in the past how writing outdoors really kind of brings something different to my writing, so that'll be interesting as well. Then the venue is providing afternoon tea, so I will partake of some afternoon tea. And then afterwards I'm just going to relax. I'm going to sit and read for a bit, I think. You know, this is all up in the air. It's all flexible, but this is the idea. I'll sit and read for a bit, see what I feel like reading in the moment. I've got this book, which looks amazing, Untie the Strong Woman by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I've heard really good things about her. I've not read anything of hers before, so I might read that. And I'm also taking with me, I haven't got it right here, Margaret Atwood's book of short stories called Old Babes in the Wood. So that's something entirely different. So we'll see what I fancy reading at the time. And I'll have my Kindle with me as well, just in case I need something else to read. So that's the idea, is that after afternoon tea, I'll just do some reading for leisure more than anything, not for anything else. And then for the finishing of the writing for the day, my plan is to write for fun for an hour. A little while ago, I came across a book called The Ultimate Brag Book About Yourself, 100 Questions About How Awesome You Are. And I don't know about you, I'm not very good at bragging about myself or boasting. But there's something about the title of it that piqued my interest when I saw it, and I ordered it on my Kindle quite a while ago, and I've done nothing with it since. But what I've done is I've highlighted some of the statements. So there's 100 questions in this book, and the invitation is for you to answer these questions. So things like 10 things I love about myself, or 25 reasons I'm freaking awesome, or one of them I like is I have a sexy ass ... fill in the blanks. So my intention is to maybe take a couple of those and write the answers to those. Maybe 1 or 2 a day. I don't know. We'll see. I do think that I think it'll add some fun, but I also think it'll stretch me a little bit because it's not the kind of thing I'm used to writing about myself. I'm not used to writing and saying good things about myself. Who does really? If you're the kind of person who's big and bold, and yeah, that's great, but that's not it's not me. So you never know what might show up as a result of that. And then after that, hopefully it'll be time for dinner. And my plan is to relax in the evenings, however that pans out. My husband will be staying in the venue at the same time, so maybe we'll have a nice dinner together, relax in the evenings together. So that's my plan. Do that on day one, and then repeat, and then repeat. Hopefully do the same kind of things on each of the days. I'm excited to see what will transpire. I'm excited to see whether it all goes to plan, whether I stick to it, whether I vary it. You know what they say, you make a plan and then God laughs, eh? So we'll see. But yeah, I'm interested to find out. It's the first time I've ever done this. So we'll see. And I will endeavour to do at least a couple more video diaries and let you know how I get on. Okay, see you soon. Bye.